Welcome back to Flow Tricks, guys. I am Jason, and today we're going to be talking about an eagle roll. I've already done a video on eagles, different eagle tricks and transitions and things that you can do. So today we're specifically going to focus on the eagle roll, which is just a normal eagle. We're going to wrap it around 2 fingers, which reminds me, this is a specifically 2-finger eagle trick. I hate doing tricks that are very dependent on what kind of nunchucks that you're using. I like versatility, but this has to be 2 fingers because we're rolling from these 2 to those 2. We don't want to roll from 1 to 3 because as we push off and do that transition, it's going to be very, very sloppy. So these, obviously, if I do 2 fingers, it's too far. I can't even, it's hard to grab the other side, right? This is actually a full hand type of eagle. So we don't want that. We want it to specifically go over 2. Now I can actually do 3 fingers with these, but I'm going to keep it on 2. We're going to turn them vertically, and I'm going to push off. Now I'm going to stick my hands straight out in front of me, in line with my shoulder, and I'm going to give this a decent amount of push, but I only want to push my hand so far. Now, as you can see, my hand is only moving from right there to right here. So it's not that I'm pushing really far across, it's that I'm giving it a nice little oomph when I do it. Quick little troubleshooting. We are going to focus more on the bottom handle than we are the top one. So instead of focusing too much on the push, I almost want you to focus on tweaking your palm a little bit so that you're pushing off with the meat of your palm on this lower handle. But yeah, you want your hands straight out, you want to give it a nice push, and our hand's not going to move too much at all. Now on the way back, I tend to turn my hand up a little bit because one of these handles is rolling over a little more than the other one. So that's why I say give it a nice little push, because you need that momentum to get it fully around. And it also keeps it from crashing into the other one. So give it a nice little push. Hands pretty much straight out. Your fingers, now you don't have to be able to do this or anything crazy like that, but you want to spread your fingers a little bit apart, which will be much easier for you once you actually have them on your fingers. But again, don't overthink any of this. It's not so crucial. The push is the main thing. I'm not going to lock my fingers straight out. You know, you can have a little bend in there. It's not a big deal. It's literally just that oomph that you're giving it to make them flip around. I love this trick because it's super versatile. I mean, you can do eagles in general out of any combo, flow, trick, anything, and have it come out pretty flawless. You can end on an eagle. You can use it to pause or stall out your flow. But this one in particular adds complexity to it, because most of the time when you're spinning with nunchucks, we're doing a lot of circles, right? We don't typically do flat lines. So we're taking this one in particular, we're going from a straight line, and then we're going to throw a circle in the middle and go back to a straight line. Now that's pretty unique for nunchuck tricks. I can't think of another trick off the top of my head where you're changing the shape in the middle of the trick. Alright, so if you keep crashing into each other when you're doing it like this, try taking your arm and putting it straight out to the side so that your palm is facing forward. And we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to push them forward and then back center. And again, we're using the same amount of movement. I don't want a whole lot of movement, so I don't want to push these forward and bring it back. I just want to pop it and bring it back. So pop it forward, bring it back. But this way, Because if they're crashing into each other, it probably has a lot to do with your hand is either moving, which is causing them to run off the line that they're on and crash in center. This way, I think it allows your fingers to move less. There's less movement in your fingers that could be pushing that off center. There's less movement in your hand that could be pushing that, you know, in and out. So try it from all directions, see which one's the easiest, and take it from there. Yeah, try changing the direction that you're pushing off. The push, everything like that is going to be the same. It's just not a whole lot of hand movement. Like I said, we're going from right shoulder to center chest, back to right shoulder. If you're doing it out here, that doesn't really come into play, but you're moving it out a little bit and then back a little bit. The idea is minimal movement with a lot of force. I want to shoot this thing across. I don't want to just lightly push it across. Because they'll both drop. One's got more force than the other, which will make them end up hitting each other. You want this a lot of force so that they stay straight in line, and by straight in line, I mean this one is behind this one, right? I don't know if you can see that. So when I push these off, I want one to stay behind the other one. So the more force that you have, the more straight line, more velocity it's going to use.